Today I want to show you how to set up your auto networking day-night IP camera. First things first, you do need a Wi-Fi or hardwired router that is connected to the internet permanently. You will need to download the app onto your smartphone to be able to interface with the camera. Go to your app store of your Android or iPhone and search for MEasyViewer or MEasyViewer HD for your iPad. Download and install the app. Next, we need to connect the camera to your app. There are two different ways to add your camera. One of them is to scan the QR code that is supplied on your ID and password card. The other is to manually type in your ID and password. Click on the top left plus sign on your app to add a camera. To use the QR code scanner, click on Scan QR Code. Then point your phone at the QR code on your ID password card. Once the QR code has been scanned, the camera will automatically be added to your camera list. Click on the top left plus sign on your app to add a camera. Click on Manual Input. Then type in the name of your camera, whatever you want to call it. Type in the user ID and the password as supplied on your ID password card. Take the LAN cable that is supplied with your IP camera, plug it into the router, then plug it into your IP camera. After 1 minute, you will need to check if the red LED light is on permanently and the blue one is flashing. This would mean that your camera is officially connected to the internet. Setting up your Wi-Fi of your IP camera manually. Under Camera List, click on the blue arrow icon of the camera. Scroll to Camera Settings and click on that. When the authentication window pops up, type in the login username, lowercase admin, and the password you leave blank. Click on Network, then Wi-Fi. Make sure that the Wi-Fi slider is on. Select the correct Wi-Fi network you want to connect to. Enter the Wi-Fi password and click OK. The LEDs on the camera will start blinking. If the blue LED is on and stops blinking after 1 minute, the camera is now connected to the Wi-Fi network. At this point, you can disconnect the Ethernet cable. Next, we're going to set up the Wi-Fi of the IP camera using the QR scanner. This is what we call the smart setup. Please make sure that your cell phone or your smartphone is connected to the same Wi-Fi router as you are going to connect the IP camera to. Open your MEasyViewer app. At the bottom right, click on Wi-Fi Setup. The instructions should follow on the screen, but I'm just going to run you through them quickly. Step 1 is to power on your camera, but make sure that the Ethernet cable is not connected this time. Click on Next. Key in the password of your Wi-Fi router. Now this is obviously your SSID password that is supplied with your router setup. The app will then generate a QR code. Press the WPS button on your IP camera. The LED light should start flashing. Line up the QR code about 10 to 20 centimeters away from the camera. When the camera recognizes the QR code, the Wi-Fi should automatically be set up and your IP camera is ready to go. To set up your IP camera's Wi-Fi connectivity using the WPS sync buttons, make sure that the Ethernet cable is still connected. Press the WPS sync button on both the camera and the router simultaneously. The LEDs on the IP camera will start blinking. The blue LED on the camera will stop blinking after 1 minute. Once it has stopped, the camera is connected to the Wi-Fi. Now that we are done setting up the Wi-Fi and hardwire connection, you are ready to use your product. Open your MEasyViewer app on your smartphone. Then click on the camera list. Simply select the camera you want to view and a live stream of the camera will appear. For any other questions, don't forget to reference your quick installation guide.